Welcome to SME Africa, another Monday where we get to interact with a young entrepreneur who is working her way up the economic strata and choosing to create a vision, pursuing a dream, and contributing to the economy of Nigeria.
We are sharing the profits of experience on SMEAfrica with Joyce. Welcome back.
To you, I'll say welcome.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Good to have you here. Good to have you here.
It's my pleasure.
I haven't seen you this year, so I haven't said Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
So, welcome. Tell us your name.
Abimbola is my name. It's a pleasure to be here.
It pleases me to have you here.
Yeah.
Good. And what do you do?
I'm a brand and communication specialist. We do brand management, especially for small and medium enterprises in Nigeria.
Are you my competition? Should I be bothered about you?
You know, the sky is wide enough for all.
I don't know. I occupy quite a huge fraction of the sky.
Oh,
I don't know.
really?
Should I look out for my, for the territory around my occupational
Watch out.
position? Okay, so give us an idea as to the nitty-gritty, the basic functionality of your establishment.
Okay, I'm the founder of Melet Media Limited.
Melet? Melet.
Don't bother about the pronunciation.
I mean, I would like to learn.
Okay, it's Melet. Some call it Melet. So I'm used to it. All manner of pronunciation. In any case, we are a brand management company, and the company was established in 2015 for the purpose of creating access to market for small and medium enterprises. Now, I'll give you a little background into how that came to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to be a journalist, and
really?
Yeah.
Oh, so really, I should be concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, we're sharing similar territories now.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and while I was a journalist, I was on the business beat, and I did a lot of work for small and medium enterprises.
Where did you used to work?
I'm not gonna say that here.
Okay, you should not to.
So I did a couple of promotions and publicity for chambers of commerce, for SMEs, and I had a very special interest for small and medium enterprises.
What exactly was your interest?
Yeah, my interest was I believed SMEs are the people that can liberate us from poverty and hunger in Nigeria. Because I believe they're the drivers of every economy, and I realized that enough attention was not being paid to SMEs, and most governments that are coming and out, they only pay lip service to it. So you get a lot of bailout funds here, bailout funds there, where the SMEs could not really access. So there were a lot of problems, but one of the major ones that struck me was I came in contact with a lot of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, middle-aged ones that were producing and manufacturing spectacular goods, quality, and then they complain of not being able to sell. So I say, in a country of over 150 million people, how can somebody tell me you're unable to sell? So the market is huge. There has to be a disconnect somewhere. It's either the customers are not able to get in contact with the producers, or the producers could not reach the customers. So I said, this is a very huge problem that I can create a solution to. So that's why I resigned from my job. It was a very tough decision for me, but I had to do it. Somebody had to do it anyway. So I decided to be that person. And then I set up Melet Media for the sole purpose of connecting businesses to consumers.
One end of business to the other.
Exactly.
And now I'm curious, you had to quit your job to solve a problem.
Exactly.
Well, from the break, and when we come back, of course, we're talking about problem solving. What passion, how much passion would have driven you to quit your job for a dream yet to be accomplished? It's SME Africa. My name is Joyce. We're 96.9, we're Cool FM. We will be right back. Stay tuned.
We are sharing the profits of experience on SMEAfrica with Joyce. Welcome back.
You just tuned in, you're right on time for the probing as it continues. We're with a young entrepreneur who at one time, did you think of becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah. I never thought it was going to be in this capacity. I'd always known that I was going to set
In what
up a
capacity?
business.
Buying and selling, which usually is largely the interpretation of entrepreneurship around here.
No, in the capacity of probably having a radio station of my own. Oh yeah,
You're
heard
quite
that.
ambitious.
I was.
Anyway, given
I
the fact that
also-
you had in past been a journalist,
Yes.
you wanted to own your own radio
Exactly.
station
Exactly.
and do what? Fights, corruption, give another angle to political views.
No, I used to be very involved in some form of social activism. So
Oh, okay.
I was going to set up a radio station to address that, societal vices, societal problems, etc.
Okay.
But then something else called me.
I'm glad what called you has even brought you thus far. So now let's
Exactly.
begin the probing.
Yeah.
Your background, you say you used to have a job. But first, before your job, your educational background. What did you study? Where did you study? And
Okay.
how did you become employed?
Okay, I studied English language at the University of Ado-Ekiti.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2006, and then in 2012 I got my master's degree at Unilag.
Okay.
Same course.
English.
Yes, English,
Nice.
English. But when I was in Unilag, I had a bit of stint with my thesis centered around a course called semiotics. A lot of people don't know what that's all about, but people who study language will be able to understand what I'm talking about. And so semiotics had to do with branding. It had a lot to do with branding, using graphics, using symbols. You talk about your brand and everything, and
Yeah.
that was what my thesis centered around.
Okay.
So I think that was at the point that I became interested in how organizations are built, how businesses are being run. How can you project your image as a company? And
Oh, as
I
an
think that was
individual.
where, as an individual. So that was where the connection,
vague idea.
exactly, came from. But I didn't totally understand what I was going to do with this
Okay.
until I started working. I did a bit of marketing at the point. I did a bit of telesales at the point, customer service. So it was like a building ground for me.
Okay. Hold on. Building ground.
Yeah.
Right after your master's degree, was that the first time you had your first employment?
No, I had worked as a telesales person. I had
Okay.
worked as a customer service officer
Okay.
before I now went to back to school to get my master's degree.
So after masters,
Yeah.
what was the next employment you got?
After masters, I was on TV at a point.
Ah,
I had
you're
a show.
famous.
Oh no, I wasn't famous. So I was just doing my thing.
Yeah.
I was very passionate about being in the media and everything. I used to write a lot until I now got my final job that I resigned from.
Where was it? What was it?
Okay.
You're on SME Africa. We're going to ask you all these questions.
I was a correspondent with the news agency of Nigeria.
Okay.
So that was where I worked for almost 5 years.
Okay.
Then that was where I got connected with small business owners, and I saw the challenges that were enormous. It was at that point that I decided I gotta do this.
Were you not afraid to quit paid employment for the uncertainties that we all know abound in the Nigerian labor hunting market?
Yeah.
How do you quit from certainty and step boldly into uncertainty? That's a huge gamble, given the fact
Exactly.
that, first of all, you're in Nigeria. So
Exactly.
how did you find the faith
Okay,
that
for
made
me,
you, believe that this was possible?
yeah, for me it was even much more difficult because I was working in a federal government parastatal.
Yeah.
And in the Nigerian parlance, when you're working with the federal government, they see it as a stable job, so to say.
Yeah.
So the chances of you being
Fired.
laid off or fired, very, very slim.
Yeah.
So the first thing that family members told me was, are you okay? You got this job. You didn't have to know a senator or a governor,
Yeah.
and you just got it because you were qualified, and then you're just going to gamble with it and just throw it away. Something every other person outside wishes to have. And I was very convinced, man. That's why one thing I tell entrepreneurs, if you have a vision that you're not convinced about, first of all, it will be very difficult for you to convince people around you. And secondly, it will be very hard for you to even get a product or a service and convince people to buy. So you have to believe in your vision, first of all, as the owner of the vision, before you can sell it to somebody else. So I believed in what I was going to do, and I was going to try anyway. And I got to a point where I said to myself, Abimbola, you gotta try this. If you fail, then you learn from it. But if you're gonna be successful, you never know if you're gonna be successful unless you try.
Okay, so far you haven't spoken about money. So is it safe to conclude that money was not a factor that led to your resignation from the federal government establishment where you initially had employment?
Money was never a factor for me. And I always tell people that money should not be a factor.
Okay.
Because what happens when you get the money and then you don't even know what to do with the money?
I think for Nigerians, we like to get the money first,
No.
and then we'll debate what to do with it afterwards.
So when you get the money and you don't know what to do with the money, it fizzles out and then you're back to square ground zero.
That is the part 2. We're still, hinged on part 1, which is give me the money.
Money.
So
Okay. For me,
I'm just talking like a typical Nigerian
Nigerian,
who's just
I
desperate for
understand.
money.
Yeah.
We want money so bad, and when we think or when we make steps towards anything, enterprise venture, dream, vision, business, we're thinking money.
Yeah.
The larger percentage of us.
Okay.
When I say us, I don't know why I'm self-inclusive, because I'm not that way, but
Well.
so it's safe to conclude that money wasn't your drive.
As of the time I started Melet Media, I had no personal savings. It will shock you to know that. I had no
You
money.
quit and you did not have
I did
personal
not have
savings.
any personal
So
savings.
all you had was just
was my
faith.
idea and my belief that it was going to work out. And I was going to leverage on the people that I had interacted with. That's what is very important for every entrepreneur, to have a network of people where you can just go and tell them, this is what I'm doing now.
And what comprised of your network? Who was within your network?
Okay, because I said I was a journalist.
Yeah.
I had worked with a lot of chambers of commerce.
Mhm.
I had worked with a lot of associations of SME operators. So those were my network.
Okay.
And I was offering a service that was focusing on SME owners and operators. So typically, I just went to them and I said, this is what I do now. There are people who usually call me to say, oh, we have this program, we need you to come and give us publicity for it. And then when they call me and they say, we need you to come on this platform, I say, I'm no longer on that platform. This is what I do now. And they say, oh, interesting. Let me hear more about it. And so when I render a service to one entrepreneur, the entrepreneur goes to tell another entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that was why I was able to get a list of clientele for
Okay.
the first 6 months of my business.
Okay, now, so far it's still vague, and I can tell because of my level of trying to understand what it is you're trying to tell us so far.
Okay.
I want to understand the services that you provide to an entrepreneur, or say a body of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So when we come to you saying, I have this problem where I want to sell this to a customer, but I don't know who to sell it to, so I need publicity. What do you do, and how do you do what you do?
Okay, initially we started out as a publicity company, which
Yeah.
is, publicizing businesses.
So you place
And-
commercials on radio, or
Yeah,
you do social media?
every form of media, multimedia.
Okay.
We did a lot of all that. Then at a point we realized that the problem that some of these businesses had was not the fact that they couldn't reach out to customers. Some of them already had social media platforms that they were running for their businesses. They had a lot of followership and everything, and it was running for them. So some of them, the problem they had was more of a branding issue than the products they are trying to sell. So at that point, we started giving consultancy services to these businesses. Some people have an issue with their packaging, for instance, packaging of their products, which was not attractive enough. If a product is shabbily packaged, the first thing that comes to your mind is, this is fake.
Yeah, or
That's-
inferior.
or inferior. Do
Yeah.
you understand? So we had to educate them and develop their capacity in those areas.
Okay, 2 questions just
Yeah.
before I let you continue.
Okay.
Who's we? You keep using the term we.
We, my team and I. Melet is not run by me alone.
That's
It's
why
run
you're
by a group
here.
of
We want to
people.
find out who is. That's why I asked you
Okay,
who's we.
Yeah,
So who's we?
my team and I.
Still, you're towing the bloodlines.
Okay.
We. So are you co-founder?
No, I'm the
Okay.
founder. At the beginning of the show, I said I was the founder of the business.
Yeah, that's why I stopped
Okay.
to ask you who's
Yeah,
we.
and in a business, it's not the entrepreneur that is the lord and the master of the business.
And
You're
that's
not
why
the
I'm
one that
asking
formulates.
you who's
That's why
we.
I said my team and I, my
So your
staff
team
and I. Those are
Okay.
my team members.
Okay, so we needed you to state that
Okay.
specifically.
Yeah.
That my team
Yeah.
is, my staff and I.
Yeah.
Because some other people have they could be founder of a business, but then they now recruit other brains who supply other needs for the business to be able to run itself. And
Yeah.
that was why I asked the question.
Okay.
Who's we? Okay, good. So now, in terms of products, give us an idea as to the products that you've been able to maybe repackage or rebrand.
Okay, we don't have a feasible products that we sell. It's a service-based organization.
Exactly. So I
Yeah,
want people
so
who
we
are
have
listening to
tailor-made. We have tailor-made services. So when you come to us, we don't have like typical branding and typical publicity companies. They say we have a bronze package or gold or this. We don't do that at Melet. So when you come to us, we listen to you. We find out what your needs are, what your target markets are, what you're trying to sell, and then we factor out a service that suits you. That's why we say we render tailor-made services.
Is there anything we cannot bring in terms of, products?
Anything you cannot bring as
Yeah,
well.
so are you open to receiving just about any kind of product, from consumables to
Yeah, sure.
items?
Sure. We sell anything.
second-
We sell landed properties. We sell farm produce. We sell. As a matter of fact, about 2 weeks ago, we got a contract to supply bagged rice. So
To supply bagged rice.
yes, we had
Bagged
a
Nigeria.
customer. Yes, we
Okay.
had a customer who needed a supply of rice, and we had to connect the customer directly to the farmers that are producing rice. Yeah, in the northern part
So
of
you also
Nigeria.
work as some
So
kind
we
of
sell-
intermediary.
Exactly. So we just create a platform for the customers and the businesses to meet. That's what we do, and we're working on a project that is going to be launched in February. Yeah, and it's a platform, a huge platform that's going to be an entrepreneurship hub in Nigeria that is going to bring all those people together,
All with
the
people,
customers and the businesses.
Okay.
So we're just creating that platform where they can meet and then they can sell their business directly, products directly to those people.
All right. How long have you been doing this?
2015.
When did you quit your job?
2015.
And then you started off
December.
immediately.
Yeah, so I started off with the idea, but we launched out fully in February 2016, and we got incorporated in April 2016.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, like last year.
I mean, like yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what challenges have you encountered?
Oh, so many. The major challenge that I encountered was competition. We operate in an industry that is already saturated, so
Yeah.
to say, and everybody is a publicity manager, everybody is a publicity strategist. People have those.
Everybody. Stop
Almost
sounding
everybody
like,
is.
you
So
stare
they
everybody
say-
in the eye as though
so
they're
they
your competition.
They say, what is exactly are you going to do that I cannot do myself? So that's the way Nigerians are.
You
Everybody's a
can't blame
medical
them. They
doctor.
all believe in what they do the same way you do.
Exactly. So by the time we now get talking, and by the time we get on board with the contract, and they say, oh, I never thought it was like this. Oh, I never thought. So that's where the expertise comes in. You understand? So it was a very major problem for us, breaking into the markets as a new brand, and then we had to compete with a lot of giants, in the industry. So
And it begs asking then,
yeah.
what is it about your service provision that you provide that other quote unquote competitors who claim to be what they claim to be
Yeah.
provide that you think you do better, or something that you do that they do not?
Okay. Promoting businesses is not all about spending so much money and shoving the products and services at people's faces. So
you make
if
it
you
sound
sell,
like
if
you're
you
more
spend,
polite.
no, if you spend so much money, if I'm not going to buy your products, I will never buy your products.
Okay.
So this is one thing that we make SME operators understand, especially because they don't even have the luxury of so much money.
Okay.
So you don't have to spend so much money trying to promote your services. You have to get your branding right.
Okay.
So people buy, Nigerians, for instance, we have studied the markets, and I realized that people buy things sometimes because of trust. So if I trust this brand and I know that this brand always produces quality, I'll always buy from you, even when somebody is trying to shove another product or like a competitive product
Yeah.
down my throat.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So this is one thing that a lot of publicity companies do not understand. They think it's just about making, spending so much money and all the jingles every day of your life. You get to hear it in the car, you hear it when you're at home, you hear it. And then affordability is very important for SME operators, because the resources, financial resources, are not there. They are working with lean resources.
Okay.
So, and understanding the business, understanding what they're trying to convey, understanding the markets. A lot of all the competitors don't even do that.
So when you say affordability, is that what you say to your clients? Do you tell them to make their products affordable?
No, our services are affordable.
Oh, your services are affordable.
Very affordable and tailor-made to the needs of our customers.
Okay, so when you say tailor-made, this is though I really cannot, but then yet again I'd like to ask you to, based on your past service provisions, states before us what you provide. What are your services?
Yeah, promotions.
Yeah, now you have to be specific.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
We help businesses do market surveys. So if you're trying to launch your business and it's a new terrain for you, you want to know how this product is going to be acceptable in the market. We do market survey. We help you look out for the competitive products that you're trying to see. The pricing. We help people formulate appropriate pricing for their products, and we do a lot of branding work, for organizations, typically from the beginning of how to create a logo, the look and feel of your organization, the colors, and what you're trying to portray with those colors.
Oh, really?
Yes. What message you're trying to pass out with your brand. There are a lot of branding archetypes that people are not even aware of. So we started educating our clients on that, because we started an SME series last year, middle of last year. So because we realized that a lot of these businesses still need a lot of work to do. Everybody just goes into business because they are passionate about certain things. They want to create solutions to certain problems. They have no idea about what branding is all about. So we started the SME series that we do every month. Where we invite entrepreneurs to come and listen and hear things, how things that should be done from experts. We invite experts to speak to them. We do that in our office every month. And so
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question about branding.
Okay.
Given the fact that, based on what I can gather from your background, you do not have, a certified branding certification.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so what part of your educational history did you acquire that?
I have professional certification.
A professional certificate?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you acquire the knowledge to be able to...
Exactly.
So you did this after masters?
Yeah, shortly before I did my masters.
Okay, so you just went for a course in branding and
exactly.
You were able to...
Yes.
Okay, so when it comes to branding in Nigeria, you realize there are loads of products that share similar aesthetics.
Yeah.
Sometimes similar content, actually.
Exactly.
And in Nigeria, given the population and then the number of people who are going into businesses, it's a little hard to separate one body lotion from the other body lotion. So, you know what I'm talking about? Like,
perhaps not. Body lotion may not be a very good example. Maybe we can use washing soap.
Why isn't it a good example? You are speaking to somebody who has a lotion line.
Because
I have a lotion line.
Okay.
So, if I came to you, I don't think you telling me it's not a good example is excusable enough, because that, for example, is an industry. And I have met people who are doing stuff. It's amazing what you can pick out from the earth, and then you just turn into body lotion. I thought I was a magician until I saw witches.
Witches.
You know what I'm talking about. I thought I had unraveled something until I saw people do wonders with natural produce from the earth. And how are you able to brand one from the other?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back.
We are sharing the profits of experience on SMEAfrica with Joyce. Welcome back.
We have so what exactly? I think I'll just let you introduce yourself at this point.
Okay, my name is Abimbola Olibide. I'm a brand management and communications specialist. I am the founder of Melet Media Limited.
And you work primarily with small and medium scale
Enterprises, yes.
enterprises. You know that small businesses really don't have money.
Yes, I think I've said that more than 5 times today.
Yeah, you know a lot of them
Sure.
don't have
So
money.
many of them don't have money.
And so, what if they wanted to brand, or they wanted a service that they could not necessarily afford?
You know, that was why I said most of the services we render are tailor-made. They are tailor-made
but you know,
to,
like
your,
I have-
to your purse.
Oh,
Exactly.
you didn't say that.
And your needs.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna offer you a 100,000 naira service when you cannot pay me more than 15,000 naira.
Okay. So you give
there's
them
a-
what they're
yeah,
what they're
it's
able
not
to
when
afford.
I'm not running
So I think it's
charity
more,
organization.
it's tailor-made to your purse.
To your purse and to
Ah.
your needs. So we say when you come and we talk to you, we understand your business and what you're trying to sell. Say, okay, based on what you're selling,
Yeah.
X and Y are the things that you need for this product to reach out to customers. But X and Y
Is what you can
is
get.
what you can get
I think-
based on the amount that you have.
Okay.
So if our the X and Y that we are supposed to offer to you can reach out to, let's say, 50,000 customers, for instance, and you can only afford what we can use to work around getting you across to 10,000 customers.
Yeah.
So the essence of a business is for you to start small and aim high.
All right.
So you can start from there.
Okay,
and
so
then-
just before that break, we were talking about branding, and you say that it was better for us to use some other products as an example.
Yeah.
So you thought about soap. What kind of soap? Liquid soap?
soap,
Body soap?
no, it's, liquid soap, body soap,
just
and
soap in
even
general.
washing detergents.
Okay.
We have so many of them in the market.
Made in Nigerian.
Made
by
in
young
Nigeria,
entrepreneurs?
exactly. So, but one thing I tell entrepreneurs is there has to be a unique selling point. So you don't just manufacture detergent because everybody's manufacturing detergent, and because you feel there's a large market for detergents in
Yeah.
Nigeria. There has to be something that makes you stand out.
Okay, for those
Is
who
it-
are listening, give
Yeah.
us an idea. Of
Okay,
something.
for instance, I'm not going to mention names of brands right now,
Yeah.
but there's a brand of detergent that says everything in one wash.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And people who have used the detergents can attest to the fact that once you soak it in few minutes, you wash everything in one wash. Do you understand?
Okay.
You don't have to keep washing and then you add bleach or something.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's the unique selling point, and they are focused on that unique selling point for so long a time.
Are you saying that we
So-
should focus more on slogans? Because that's more like.
Not slogans.
Okay.
That's why I was talking about brand archetypes
Yeah.
initially. So if your brand, if you focus on the quality and you hammer on quality, it means that you have to be able to prove to your customers that the quality you are selling is what they're going to get when they buy your products.
Okay.
So it's not just all about slogan, it's about saying what your how do I put it? It's like
Meaning what
you
say.
say. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like meaning what you say. So
Yeah.
if you tell me if you buy X and Y products, you're gonna get happy, for instance.
Yeah.
I should buy the products and get
And
happy.
be happy.
And be happy. Do you understand? That's the only way I can recommend the product to somebody else. You understand? And a lot of people still feel that recommendation is still not a good way of marketing. They say it's a traditional way of marketing. It's an old and stale way of marketing. But I tell people, you get more people based on referral than even the publicity that you do. Because if I buy a product, for instance, and I enjoy using the product,
Yeah.
I tell my sister tells her friend, our friend tell, and it never can tell the chain reaction. We have church members, we have mosque members, we have colleagues, and that's the reason why when somebody gives a negative review about a brand or a product, it spreads like wildfire, especially in these days of social media.
Okay. You're right. All right. And I'm going to ask you about money now. I'm going to ask you about money.
Okay.
Money. You didn't have savings.
Yeah, I did.
So did that require you to borrow?
No, it didn't require me to borrow because I made up my mind I wasn't going to borrow. So what I did was offer people services when they don't even ask me for it. So I say, I see needs, and I try to make myself available to fill up the needs. So when I offer service and people say, oh, you did it, excellent job, and they say, how much do I pay you for this? And I say, okay, just give me something. And that was how I started. And then referrals, I got a lot of business opportunities from referrals. So somebody who just gave me something and was impressed by my service to say, okay, somebody else needs similar service, then I'll be able to charge for that, you know. So that's why I was able. And then friends and family members were very supportive to me. But the major breakthrough came for me when I got selected. My business got selected as part of the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneur Foundation. Tony Elumelu Foundation.
You got a seed grant.
Yes, I got a seed capital, and that was a major break for me, because I've been working on the platform I talked about earlier in the show, at the beginning of the show, that would connect businesses to customers, and I've been working on that project for a long time, since we started, since the inception of Melet Media. Because it's capital intensive, I've not been able to do it. So I just review, I drop it. I review, I drop it, because I just felt like, oh, I couldn't afford it. And then I applied for the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneur Program, and I was selected. You know, it was a major breakthrough for me. And then when I got the seed grant, it was seed capital.
Yeah.
So I was able to scale up my business.
So where were you working from? From home? You just wake up every morning, you know, leave the house?
Yeah,
and
initially
you go into
I
the
was
streets?
working from home.
Okay.
And then I started having people say, so where is your office?
Yeah.
Well, let's come, and because Nigerians want to check you out. Nobody wants to give money to someone who is just a random person. Maybe you're just working from home. They're afraid of giving you money to go and do things. So they say, where is your office? And I'm like, oh, I don't have an office. And they never call you back, because people want to come and see you to be sure that you are doing what you're doing and you're somewhere that they can trace you to. So I had to get a small place. And
before the grant?
Before the seed capital came.
Okay.
I had to get a small place. And it got to a point that the workload was getting too much for me to do alone. So I had to recruit people. These are my team members that work with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you recruit them, you train them, because they don't.
I train them. A lot of them are fresh graduates who do not necessarily have major experiences. So we do trainings.
Okay.
Yeah. We invite people to come and train, and I pay the trainers, you know.
Oh, that's what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then since you got the money, how much has your business expanded or grown?
The growth is steady. It's still growing.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure that by the time we launch the platform in February, it's even going to grow bigger.
So what's the benefit of this platform? I think this is the third time I'm hearing you talk about this platform you're about to launch, where, you know, small scale businesses can come now and introduce their goods and services to the public. There's some meet and greet or meet and know yourself. What's supposed to be the benefit at the end of the day?
A lot of benefits. It's going to foster partnerships and collaborations between small businesses, among small business owners, because I believe that when people work together, they achieve more than when they work as lone rangers. Okay. It's going to create a sort of interaction between businesses, like business to business interaction, and then customers to business interaction. And for instance, you have a product to sell. For instance, you are in Lagos, and somebody who deals in certain raw materials that you need for your product is probably in Osho State. You have never met before. You don't even know each other, but you know you have things that you need, you know, and from the other person. So the platform is going to create, is like how do I call it? It's like a Facebook of business in Nigeria.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are not necessarily, you know, computer savvy. A lot of people who are in the farms are not necessarily technologically savvy. So how do you bridge that?
Yeah.
Given the fact that you have to till the ground, the last thing you want to do when you raise your head is get on a computer. A lot of people are not on computers.
Then when you till the ground, you have to bother yourself with how you're going to sell your farm produce.
So do you also educate, say, you know, people in the rural cities to be able to upgrade their businesses in the digital age to be able to access customers? Do you also educate
There's a lot of
Nigeria?
advocacy going on the need for entrepreneurs to be tech savvy.
Okay.
Because it's a global village now. There's a lot of opportunity on the internet.
Okay.
Either as a business person or you're just you're just doing your thing. You're not even a business person. So there's a lot of advocacy. My company doesn't do that. As a matter of fact, no, we don't do that.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, our target customers are not necessarily the people that are on the field who are not tech savvy.
Okay.
Before you can use the platform, you should have some form of technical knowledge. You should be able to.
So how do you pick your customers? Would it be on the grading of the brand? You know what I'm talking about? How do you pick your target market? Is it on the quality of the brand, the grading of the brand? Do you grade brands actually?
No, we don't grade brands.
So
because a lot of small
how do you pick their
businesses have
markets?
not even gotten their branding rights. So we
Oh,
don't. Yeah,
okay.
we don't. So we are open to any business owner. When you come to us, the essence of brand management is for you to be able to help those people to make their brands better. So if they had a perfect brand, they probably wouldn't even need our services in the first place.
Okay.
So we don't grade brands, we don't discriminate. Whatever it is that you're trying to sell, in as much as it is genuine, it is legal, we are able to sell it for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're off on a break and we'll be right back. It's SME Africa. When we come back, we'll talk about employment and, of course, talk about since you started recruiting people and you've gotten into the Nigerian society, gotten in contact with brands, goods, services. How do you think the average Nigerian can make their products, goods and services better? So we'll talk about that when we come off this break.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. It's SME Africa. My name is Joyce. Stay tuned.
We are sharing the profits of experience on SMEs Africa with Joyce. Welcome back.
We're back. Abimbola, are you
Yeah,
okay?
I'm alright.
Abimbola feels like I'm probing her too much, and I really had to say that. That was the first thing she said to me the moment we got off it. It's like, you're probing me too much. And I'm wondering, didn't they tell you were coming to me, Joyce? What do you think was going to happen? All right, so it's really the tail end of the show.
Okay.
And then you can literally just run away. All right, but here is where it gets really interesting. In terms of recruitment, what has been your challenge? Let's talk about, it's a question, but that's a part A of the question.
Yeah.
What has been your challenge in the area of recruiting young graduates? What have you encountered to be like a major challenge?
Okay.
Have you found people who studied English, who can write English? What's your challenge?
Before I became an entrepreneur, and I used to read all sorts about how unemployable, unmanageable young Nigerians or young Nigerian graduates were. I used to think it was exaggerated, and I used to think it was unfair of employers to say that exactly
Nigerian
until I had a
graduates.
first-hand experience.
Yeah.
People are just looking for an opportunity to just while away the time, and until they get something better to do.
Okay.
So you have staff coming to the office to just browse and surf your internet and use your internet to apply for better jobs and probably surf and watch movies online and download things. So the internet is supposed to last you for 1 month. In 2 weeks, it's gone. So that was my experience. It was a very, very terrible experience for me. And then you have people who are not ready to contribute anything to the growth of the organization, because you see that this is a growing business, this is a new business, and you applied to have a job here. So you're here and you expect everything to be rosy and dandy. I started my career in a small organization myself. So people are not ready to make any sacrifice. They are not ready to contribute anything to the development of the organization they are working in. They just want to come and earn their salaries at the end of the day. And salaries are supposed to be earned anyway. So you're not doing anything. You just want to get a salary.
Wow.
Exactly. So I once had a marketer who just sits in the office and say, I'm a marketer, and you sit in the office from morning till evening.
Oh.
Yeah, and you don't go out. So how do you market? Where do you sell to? Who do you talk to?
What does he do while he's sitting at the office?
Just sits down and, like the madam of the company. So that's my own experience. I don't know of all the people. I don't know the kind of experiences they had.
I mean,
At a point, I had to say, you know what? Everybody just go.
Really?
Yes.
You closed down your office?
I just told everybody to go because I realized that I recruited people because I wanted the workload to be reduced.
Yeah.
So I see people, I now have staff that are doing next to nothing. I still find myself doing like the major part of the work, like 80%, when I'm supposed to be doing like 60% now that I have staff. So what's the point of having the staff anyway?
Oh.
So I told them to go and I got a new set of people.
Now, when you say, Nigerian graduates being unemployable, besides the fact that they just love to just chill, I mean, it's a sunny day in Lagos. You just want a cool bottle of something.
Exactly.
And chill is the next best thing.
Yeah.
What else makes them unemployable, besides the fact that they like to chill? Hey.
Some
Is
of
it
them
the fact
are
that they are
ready
not...
to learn.
Okay.
Some of them are not ready to learn. Some of them are arrogant in their ignorance.
With the BSc?
Yeah.
Arrogant
So you
with the Nigerian
exactly
BSc?
yes, and they're very ignorant about a lot of things. They feel that they know and they don't even know. And somebody is trying to put you through and say this is how things are done, and then you still feel you can't be corrected.
Oh wow.
So that's
Really?
nothing. You don't have a teachable spirit. How do you want to grow? Everything that I do now in running my business, I learned while I was working for some other people. Do you understand? So before you can say you know something, before you can beat your chest and say I'm an expert in this field, you must have learned something from someone, from some people. You understand?
Wow.
So you know, you don't want to
really
know.
been a headache.
You don't want to
for you
know.
to
So
just-
somebody writes an official letter. I have to proofread before you send, and I have to say, please don't send that letter until I edit it. A graduate. So what am I paying you for?
But hold on, why are you skeptical about their writing?
Because I had seen what they wrote and I was not impressed.
Oh.
People don't know how to write an official letter. They don't know how to, it's really pathetic.
Okay, so that's your horror.
That's my own experience.
No,
Some
but
other
I've
people
heard-
have a better experience.
No.
than I do, so-
Nobody has a better experience. Everybody
Oh, well.
who has been an SMEAfrica and ask this question.
Oh well.
They seem to be. They just tell me not to go there. I don't know. It sounds like a road where monsters
It was terrible.
fly. It sounds like a very tragic experience for
Yeah.
employers when they come in contact with some Nigerian graduates. All right.
Yeah.
So now you've also been in contact with brands, goods,
Yeah.
particularly goods, maybe services, but no goods.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Now we're looking for like an insight, an expo into how people who are listening who have goods and services can brand,
Yeah.
manage, package their goods and services.
Okay.
What would you tell young Nigerian producers?
Okay. The first thing is don't compromise quality. Don't ever. Nigerians, I don't know how that idea came about. People feel that Nigerians like to buy inferior goods because they are cheap.
It's
And-
not a lie.
No, it's because I have worked with a lot of consumers and I've realized that it's a lie.
No, I
It's a
think for
lie.
some people, they'll rather buy quality, but largely, people want what's cheap. Hence,
People want
Why?
what's affordable.
yeah.
There's a difference between cheap and affordable.
Okay, people want
But
what's
Nigerians,
affordable.
yes, but
What is affordable in Nigeria?
brands and manufacturers and people who are rendering service, they try to take advantage of that gap. They feel, okay, if I need to make a quality product, it has to be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive.
Certainly not.
So
Certainly not.
and you see the person you want, because of my work. When I see a product, I know a product that is overpriced.
Okay.
I can tell a product, and I tell them to their faces that this product is overpriced. Do you want me to sell this product or not? But the idea that everything that is quality has to be expensive and out of reach of people.
Now that's the one that's wrong.
Yeah,
That's-
it's very
that's
wrong,
an
and
understanding that I know
lot
to
of
be very
businesses,
wrong.
they do that a lot.
Yeah.
So because they feel that, okay, once you just say, okay, this thing is perhaps this is supposed to cost this phone is supposed to cost me 10 naira, and I want people to believe that it's quality.
Say it.
I make it 20 naira.
No, they make it 15.
Okay, let's say they make it 50 naira.
Yeah.
On the long run, it might even be an inferior product.
No, usually it is.
So you sell an inferior product for the price of a quality product and even higher.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, really.
Okay.
So you don't take advantage and rip off your consumers. Because without the consumers, anyway, what are you in business for? Because who are you selling your produce to?
Very true.
So, a lot
I've had
of
that challenge.
Yes,
I've
a lot
had
of
young
entrepreneurs.
people come to me and they give me a product,
Yeah.
and it's just, first of all, I'm cool with the price until I assess the quality,
Exactly.
and then I have a problem with the quality. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, if I'm going to have to pay this
Yeah.
figure, then why are you giving me this?
Exactly.
And then they give an elaborate story about
Especially now, the recession, economic recession, everybody is capitalizing on economic recession.
Wow.
Everybody. So you buy a product that was 5 naira yesterday, and you know that nothing has changed between yesterday and now. You go and buy it, and it's 15 naira.
Wow.
And the next thing they say is, you know, this is
The
the
dollar has gone up.
Everybody's dollar. Even the Gary seller is dollar.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
So
It's-
what do you think? Because this, sincerely, this I have observed.
Yeah.
What do you say to producers? What is the counter effect, given the longevity of such a mentality?
Okay.
How does this begin to affect the Nigerian market if people are now choosing to capitalize on whatever excuses they can muster? For example, overpricing goods,
Yeah.
providing inferior products.
Yeah.
What's the long-term effect?
At the end of the day, the brands don't stand the test of time. Really,
Phenomenal.
they don't. Because if you look at brands that have made quality their watchword, no matter how expensive their products are, people will still buy those products based on trust.
Yeah.
So my late mom, before she died, she had some particular brands that if she didn't get those brands, she would never buy any substitutes, because she was sure of what she was buying. She knows that these people have been there and they have kept their word over the years.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I ask entrepreneurs, do you want to be a flash in the pan, or you are trying to create a sustainable business?
Okay.
One that will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
You just want to make your money and say, oh, madam, I've invested so much in this business, I have to get my money back. And I tell them, you can't get your money back immediately.
Yeah.
Every business has a lifespan of being able to grow past the startup stage, and then before you begin to expand in the business. So
Yeah.
you just have to take it easy.
Okay, so
Take
I
it
want to
easy.
know, this is another curiosity of mine.
Yeah.
I would like to know, do Nigerians come to you saying, oh, I'm here to market a luxury good? Because I feel sometimes maybe there is a justification to the pricing.
Okay.
So that was why I was asking you if you did some kind of grading.
Okay.
Yeah, you said no, you don't discriminate. People just bring their goods and then you weigh out their challenges and then you try to prefer a solution.
Yeah.
So I want to know, do people come to you saying, oh, I have a luxury good here?
Okay.
And do people come, because like in economics you have luxury good, you have
Exactly.
inferior goods,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
have...
And it determines your target market anyway.
Exactly. That's what I was asking you about, the
So,
target market.
yeah.
How do you pick your target market? So
Okay.
do you come in contact with that, or you just have people who say, hey, here's a tray and this is what we have to sell?
Okay, so we know how we determine luxury goods, and we don't sell luxury goods on the streets of Lagos.
Yeah.
We don't go to the downtown market to sell luxury goods.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So we know where we sell luxury goods.
And
so
then do
I
you
let
Determine it to be luxury enough, to be worth the price
Yeah.
and quality.
Yeah. Because don't forget, I say we do market survey.
Okay.
Is one of the major things that we do in our
Okay.
organization, and we understand pricing to
Okay.
a reasonable extent.
Okay.
So if a luxury good is even overpriced, we know.
Oh, phenomenal.
Yeah, we know.
Okay.
And then that's when, because we encourage our clients to how do I put it? Sincerity is very important. Integrity is very important
Yeah.
for us. It's one of our core values.
Yeah.
And wherever we're going to be doing business, it has to have some. Like I said, that's why we can't sell anything that is illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the things that we talk about.
Okay.
And that's what a brand is all about. On the long run, you're not just selling your products, you're selling your brand.
Yeah, very true. So the final question would be your opportunity to conclude the show. And I'd like for you to speak on pricing, because I have a problem with that. So what would you say to Nigerians as they determine to go into business, but would like for their price to weigh out the scale?
Okay, firstly, I think I should talk to the entrepreneurs whose businesses are startups.
Okay.
they shouldn't be afraid to put the right pricing, because I've seen a lot of young entrepreneurs trying to underprice their product because they want to break into the markets.
Okay.
It's a very, very wrong strategy.
Okay.
Because, like I said, focus on producing quality goods. You know, people, Nigerians themselves, even the consumers that are buying from you, they have a discerning, they have a discerning spirit. They can discern when a product is overpriced or not, or is worth the value of what they're buying. So focus on creating value.
Okay.
Money which is the value that you're trying to sell.
Okay.
Do you understand? So do not underprice your goods and your services.
Which doesn't happen frequently.
But it happens. It happens a lot for young people and startups. It happens. But for the established business, they try to rip off people and overprice. And overpricing is an integrity problem. It's an integrity problem, and it tells a lot about the brand. And on long run, what happens to your
competitors
brand?
probably drive you out.
Exactly. So somebody who has a lot of money, to do similar thing that you're doing, will just add a higher value to their own products and services. It's the same product, but something much more valuable, and then they bring down the price. But the people say it's a free market. That's the excuse they give. It's a free market. It's a capitalist system. It's a free market. Anybody can. Then who are you selling to? If your products are overpriced and you don't get people to buy, so how are you going to stay in business?
Are you going to stay?
Really? Because if you don't sell, you can't even make profits. And it's the desire of every entrepreneur to sell more so that you can get profit from what you're selling. So it's very important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Time well spent. And it's been SME Africa with our young entrepreneur who's choosing to help young, medium-scale businesses find their place in the markets. The markets is real big.
It's very big.
Very, very,
170
big.
million people, or
But if
even
you're
more.
able to strategize and position yourself, you'll be able to have a slice of the pie.
Exactly.
It's been a phenomenal show. Thank you so much, Abimbola.
Thank you for having me,
Good to have you here. And hopefully we'd like to follow up on you promoting young businesses. Oh, real quick, some people might, want to contact you. And
I see.
Yeah, contact you to help them promote their businesses.
Yes, we can give our email addresses
Absolutely.
and phone numbers.
Okay, sure.
info@Melet. Melet is spelled MELETHSEY media.com. info@Melet, MELETHSEY media.com, or meletmedia@gmail.com. Then our phone number can reach us on 080-3430-4491, 080-3430-4491, or 080-7829-9013. I repeat that again, 080-7829-9013.
All right.
Or you can just Google Melet Media.
Are you on social media?
Yes, we are. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter.
And what's your handle?
My personal one?
No, the Meletsi.
Okay, Melet, just Melet Media everywhere.
So that's it?
Yes.
One word?
At Melet Media, at Melet Media.
And Meletsi Media all over the place.
All over.
It really has been interesting.
Yeah.
SME Africa comes to a close today. A very interesting host we've had, guest we've had, and we'll be back again next Monday. Until then, young entrepreneurs, stop overpricing the goods.
We are sharing the profits of experience on SMEs Africa with Joyce.